years or 9 years, something like that in a row. So again, thank you very much for all your hard work. Did want to do our tradition of introducing to you the people who have joined us since our last Appreciation Day. And since we're only about 5 months away from our last Appreciation Day, there's not that long a list. Anyway, would the following people please stand to be recognized? Grace Oliverio. Pat Pearl. Now, before I go on, earlier today I was talking about how I'm really a pretty mild-mannered person, and somebody expressed to me that, you know, there was at least one person here who wasn't quite sure of that, and that was Pat Pearl. And I said, well, why would she think otherwise? And she said, well, the very day that she started at Prudential, we had a teleconference call. And I was reminded this. I guess the phone wasn't working real well. And something about me throwing the phone. Does anybody remember that? Sorry, Pat. Also, Lucille De Leon. It's Lucille. And I haven't seen Skip either. Skip Jankowski. He's not here. Hey, where is it? In the back. And also Mike Feemster from Small Group. I also wanted to say that it is a pleasure to have the people from Small Group here, because evidently they just found out about this little shindig a few days ago. And would all the people from Small Group please stand up? You're long overdue at these things, and we need to make sure that hopefully at the Aetna we'll continue to have these type of parties, and that you're included. Wanted to do a couple other announcements before we actually start the program. And one of those announcements is a guy who has been very much responsible for us in the business that we have written, because he has really helped maneuver our proposals so that we have been awarded the business. As you all know, Mark Taylor is leaving for Houston tomorrow. So round him up, doggy. Mark would have left probably a couple months ago, but his hair is just now growing.
When in Rome, do as the Romans do.
He's got a horse when he gets down to Houston and a few handguns. We have a little present we want to give Mark before he leaves.
Mark, not just your team, but the whole division. Not just your team, but the whole division is going to miss you. Those of us that knew you knew that you were really only on loan to us from Texas, and we were going to mail this to you, but we had a problem finding an envelope. So you can read this to everybody.
We'll zero in on the point. Whoa. Uno, we are going.
You know.
You know we're going to miss such a big hunk around here. And in return, we would give you $100 grand for a shopping spree on Fifth Avenue and tickets to the symphony. But since today is not payday, all we can offer you are mounds of best wishes for your new life with the fruits, with the ruts and fruits in Houston. We hope you score every day and that you'll have your perfect. Just remember, you're not moving to Mars. So if you're ever in a crunch or hear Snickers behind your back, just say, Abba Zaba and whatchamacallit will come to be sure your Kit Kat doesn't get too chunky. And best wishes from the outrageous nerds in the West. Thanks for having me. Wow, I'm hungry now.
Mark, there's something about scoring there. Is that golf?
Yeah.
I could go and read some rules of golf, but Janet passed that on to me the other day, and I'll avoid that one for right now. After a couple more drinks, I probably will. Another area that I would like to thank also for being here, and this is an area near and dear to the reps, is all the people from Bonus and Production, so if they could stand up. It should also be near and dear to the account managers, especially as we move into the Aetna situation. And lastly, I want to extend one more offering to a lady who has been my staff assistant for the last 3 years, who is celebrating her 50th birthday today, Linda Abel. And I want you all to join me in singing Happy Birthday, dear Linda. All right? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Linda. Happy birthday to you. Linda has always been invaluable to me because she feeds me this concoction called puppy juice. You wonder what puppy juice is. Well, getting back to what I started out with, I think of myself as a pretty mellow guy. But I guess some other people think differently. And ever so often when I'm in my office and she says I'm sort of stressing out, maybe saying a few things under my breath or not under my breath, and she's having to close the door, she brings in this stuff that she feeds to her dogs. She drops a little droplet in the water, and it's supposed to calm you down. So thank you, Linda, for helping me out. The only problem with this stuff is that when I see trees like that over there, I get this real urge, but I'm trying to control myself. okay down here? All right. Well, again, welcome here to Duke's. We were here a couple years ago. What is that? Did anybody bring some diapers with them? Anyway, we were here a couple years ago, and it's nice to be back here at Old Duke's. Anytime Adrian or Darren and I have ever gone anywhere, we arrive, and especially Darren always goes, well, you know, it's nice to be back down here in Florida or wherever we've been on conferences. So it's nice to be here at Duke's, and I do want to thank you again for being here this afternoon. And again, my thanks to all of you. And I know that before I introduce the hypnotist for tonight, I think Mark Jenkinson should say a few words.
Yeah.
Was he looking at you, Lisa, when he mentioned diapers? Brad, thanks for your brevity. We all appreciate it. I thought we were going to be here for dinner. Aren't we here to give you the Man of the Year award? Every time there's an event, you get an award. Doesn't anyone have anything for him?
Actually, we had a present.
What would that be?
Some candies, chocolates.
You know, people may think we rehearsed. I have no idea what you're talking about. Were you yelling at me that I had too much to eat?
Well, what, 4 servings up there?
Everyone who had a hot dog at 9 o'clock raised their hand.
10 o'clock.
What did it do to your game?
It improved. I at least got a couple holes on it.
Who won? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Mark beat me, he says, for the first time today.
Did I give you strokes?
Two.
I still beat you?
You beat me.
Adam, is that a camera?
I had my old clubs, and I had my old golf shoes. Right?
You had your old swing, too. Adam, you're more comfortable on the other side of the camera.
Dunkin' Donuts, man.
You know, I drank one of those things. It damn near killed me. You know, actually, I know that we have someone waiting, and we have a number of people that have volunteered to work with the hypnotist who's been walking around drinking coffee so he won't fall asleep. He's the only guy in a cool black suit, so we need to move on here. You know, we've come here a number of times, and I go to all Brad's parties. Or most of Brad's parties. And all I would like to do is say that this is an amazing group of people. You always have been. I thought 97 and 96 were pretty tough years, and 98 wasn't particularly fabulous either. But the last 6 or 8 months during the uncertainty around what's going to happen with all of us has been particularly challenging. And it's amazing to me and very gratifying to see how hard people work in spite of all of the ambiguity that everyone operates under. So, you know, everyone says all the right things, and when the sale is finally concluded, I don't have a doubt in my mind that the people that acquire all of us are going to be extraordinarily pleased with the quality of people that they are picking up. They are really going to upgrade their overall capabilities. So, you know, congratulations to all of you. Hang in for a while longer, and good things are going to happen to good people, so you ought to be all set. Thanks.
All right, now on to what people really want to see. People making idiots out of themselves. Quiet, please. Our entertainer today, this afternoon, is hypnotist Mark Bachrach. As a host of Mark Bachrach's Mastermind Hour for 7 years, Mark's voice became familiar throughout Southern California. His most recent appearance on the Mark and Brian radio show was a national hit and will be featured as the first cut on Mark and Brian's next comedy CD. Executive Director of the Mind Skills Center for Hypnotherapy in Westlake Village, Mark has taught thousands of people the mind skill of self-hypnosis. For 19 years, he has helped them quit smoking, overcome fears and phobias, achieve more painless childbirth, and achieve their goals in sports and entertainment at world-class levels. He has been invited to teach and perform in Geneva, Switzerland as part of the UN's 1999 Festival of Excellence. Today's hypnotism show will amuse, amaze, and inspire you with the awesome power of the human mind. Please give a warm and a loud welcome to hypnotist Mark Bachrach.
Thank you, Brad. You did that just the way we rehearsed it. Big hand for Brad McMahon. Oh man, the next time I need a warm-up act, I know where to come. Those of you who were ingenious, three people actually caught this. This was a subliminal suggestion to see how quick you were. Notice the little Prudential thing on the front. On the back, it's backwards because you're not going to be Prudential much longer. So. Anyway, okay, you saw. Hey, you thought it was a printing error. All right. Well, Brad, I have to swim upstream from that introduction because you said I'm going to make idiots out of people, and I want to specify from the very beginning that this is a cruelty-free show. Okay? This is also, except for you, she's been practicing her dog imitation all week, and she wants to do it for us. Tell us your name, please. Denise, thank you for sharing. Yeah, okay. Denise, for the next 5 minutes, this is going to be a non-speaking role for you, okay, Denise? Love you, babe. Keep an eye on the princess there, would you? Not only is it cruelty-free, except for the people who asked me for, or any of my friends up here, it's also livestock-free. Now, what does that mean to you? It means there's no dogs, no ponies, no turkeys, no elephants, no... What was that about puppy? Nothing like that. Only in the introduction, but certainly not in the show. I think that's degrading. I don't want to see anybody made a laughingstock of. In fact, the people who come off this stage are very pleased because they get to take a couple of shots of the audience here and there. So, I'm not asking for volunteers at all, yet. So just relax. I know you wanted to stampede up on the stage and show your stuff. I would like at this point for you to put your beer cans, bottles, spittoons, things on the floor because this gets to be messy in the first part if you don't do that. If you put your feet flat on the floor. If you put your hands loosely and limply on your thighs. Try and keep them on your own thighs, fellas. I notice Brad's supervising here. Make sure we have a seat. Enjoy yourself. It's all right. You're off duty now. Here we go. Okay. Always. You can't say anything that I won't hear. Okay. Here's how this goes. In all seriousness, I'm going to try and run through the introduction really fast because we're all a little bit in booznosis and you don't care anyway. But people want to know, okay, I'm in booznosis, how does that bode for hypnosis? And my answer is very well, unless you're in extreme booznosis, in which case, please don't bother. because people in real, anyway, that's none of you, so we won't have to talk about that. However, booznosis kind of opens the door for hypnosis, so if you've had a couple of glasses of wine, it's okay, you're welcome up on the stage. Here's how we're going to do this. There are 3 attitudes in the room right now. Attitude number 1 is, oh, you big phony, you can't hypnotize me. Attitude number 2 is, oh God, I am so stressed, would you give me some of that relaxation stuff now? I gotta be hypnotized. Okay, not too many of them yet, but wait until you see what goes on. And number 3 is, I don't know, I'm not sure, okay? I'm interested in number 2 and number 3, okay? And number 2 people, don't try so hard, okay? The ladies understand this, they really do. Just let it happen. Don't push the river upstream. You understand what I'm saying? Must we smell the outside? Yeah. Can we like close that? Yeah. B-O. Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks, Brad. That was like open for anybody. Just wanted to see who would respond. Okay. Where was I? 1, 2, or 3. Okay. So your first attitude is, come on. We all know that every single person in the room is strong and powerful. Another one for a non-speaking role. Thank you for sharing. Do you have your guild card? You can come up and help me with this. Okay.
No, not yet.
The only reason I'm going to be kind of a gorilla at the beginning is because some people really will want to do this, and the instructions come really quick. You got to get them. Not going to repeat them. If you miss them, you may not get them turned up here. So just give me a few minutes of focus, and then all heck will break loose. Now, number 1 is we know that you're strong and powerful. So those of you guys sitting there like this, we know you can do that. We know you can resist the magnificent hypnotist. That's not me anyway, okay? I'm the coach and the cheerleader. It's your power, it's your skill, you're able to do this. Some of you already know that. Please raise your hand if you have ever seen a hypnotism show before. Raise your hand if you've ever seen a hypnotism show. Thank you. Put your hands down. Raise your hand if you've never seen a hypnotism show before. Excellent. Those of you guys are terrified, right? Okay, put your hands down. That was kind of a delayed response. You left yours up there for a long time. It's okay.
No, I didn't. I came right down.
Trust me, we have it on tape. Okay. How many people are not going to raise their hand no matter what question I ask? Let's see. There she is. Right, okay. I love her so much. She's just making my job so much easier today. Okay, now, how many people are asleep already? No? Okay. Just at work. Right, I got it. If you concentrate, there's nothing in God's green earth that can prevent you from responding if you choose to. I cannot make you respond. This will be the most boring show you've ever seen in your life if a few of you don't allow yourself to respond. That's up to you. It's not up to me. I'm going to give you all the details, and I'm going to show you what it's like for me to go into hypnosis, but that's not all. Because since this is the #1 sales team for 8 years running, something I just found out a few moments ago, we have bribes. More about them later. Okay? First of all, I would like to see the hands of those people who have been successfully hypnotized in any setting whatsoever, whether it be by a friend, by a professional, or in a stage environment. Hands if you've been successfully hypnotized. That's 1, 2, 3. Leave your hands up in the air, please. Leave your hand up in the air. Number 4. Okay, we'll start with Adam behind the camera. Adam, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being, no, you can't shoot yourself in the face with the camera. With 1 being fair, and 10 being, yes, you got that. Okay. And 10 being, what number would you put the relaxation at?
I'd give it a 10.
A 10. Okay. Now we didn't rehearse that,
Nope.
even though you told me that that was your experience beforehand, and it wasn't me that worked with you.
Nope.
Okay. Another lady right here. From 1 to 10, what number would you give it?
A 10.
10. Okay. Sounds really difficult.
Wow.
Sounds really terrible to do this, doesn't it? Really unpleasant to get that relaxed. Number 3, the young lady there. 10. Okay. We didn't even talk beforehand, right? Okay. And number 4.
About an 8 or 9.
Are you a lawyer? Would you like to be? No, an 8 or 9 is good, but if I can get you a 10 today, would you take it? Say yes. Okay, good. He did. Well, a 10 in relaxation. I raised that. Okay. My liability paid up? Good. Okay, here we go. 4 10s in the room, 4 people you know, I don't, that said this is one of the most pleasurable experiences you're ever going to have in your life. In your life. The most wonderful thing about my work is like being a midwife when people come off the stage and tell me I can't believe I got that relaxed. Watch how it's done. We're going to do 3 experiments. We're going to do them real quickly if you stay focused. All right. Okay, if you stay focused up here. And number 1 experiment, using our fingers. Number 2, we're going to use our arms. Number 3, we're going to clasp our hands together. Now, what I'm going to encourage you to do, because you're all strong and powerful, none of you are going to be selected after this first one, really do the first experiment, even if you're dead set against coming up here, okay? That's fine, stay in your chair, but do the experiment so you will have a little feeling for what the people are really experiencing up here. Then we're going to do the second experiment. The people who get really good at the second experiment, they're going to be invited only to do the third experiment. After the third experiment, I'm going to allow those people to choose whether or not they want to be up here. Now we load the dice. Not only will you get a 10 when you're up here, not only will I give a suggestion, which is worth a couple of $100 in the office for you to come in and see me during the week, that you will always be able to, oh, money, she like that, okay. It's okay. She's like, wow, he keeps betting on me, I can't believe it. $120 if you walked into the office per hour. We're going to give you the suggestion for free when you're up here. You will always be able to do self-hypnosis for yourself. You will not need me as a coach or cheerleader. You won't need a tape. You'll give yourself a suggestion. You'll instantly be able to get that relaxed, even without the puppy chow. I mean, just really, really good stuff, okay? So if that wasn't enough, we're going to further bribe the final group of people. Because the company appreciates you, and really does, and it's been 8 years in a row, we've been authorized to give 5 stress reduction, stress buster sessions, and we'll make you a cassette tape at that point. Each one of those is worth 120 bucks. Not going to give it to anybody faking it, but those of us in the audience will know who's really there. Those people will get the reward. It's another way the company and I have saying thank you for being the folks that you are. Without further ado, watch carefully as I take myself through the first experiment. I'm not going to take you any place I won't go. And by the way, thanks for being such a good sport about that. Okay, here we go. It's still a non-speaking role, but thanks for being a good sport. Because, you know, there's a time lag between the pace I'm going at. Anyway, okay. All right, here we go. They're quick. He gets them now. That's good. Other people are saying, keep them up there. Let's get on with the show right now. All right. Watch carefully, please. Ooh. I'm going to put my hands together just like this. Palms touching together. Fingers interlace. It's like Simon Says. I didn't say go yet. Okay. Put your hands down. Future hypnotists of America, when you see the people raising their hands like that, keep an eye on them. They're good subjects. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to put my hands together. Remember, 3 attitudes you can have. I'm not going to let this happen. No problem. You won't. No big deal. We know that. I know that. You don't learn anything. I don't learn anything. Attitude number 2. Oh, God, I want my fingers to come together. Relax. Just let it happen. Attitude number 3. Let's see what happens. Boom. Your fingers will come together, okay? Watch how I do this. I'm going to stare in between my fingers. Notice I said stare in between my fingers, not at anyone else, okay? So just keep staring at your fingers when I give the instructions. And after I say Gesundheit, okay? I'm going to begin to stare at my fingers and imagine that my fingers are moving and closing in. Moving and closing, now the pressing, sealing, gluing together. My hands getting heavier and heavier, relaxing, drifting down. You know, if somebody has a really good finger snap in the audience, we could get on with the show. Good. 1, 2, 3. One more finger snap with my hands, please. Thank you. It's a non-speaking role, but you sure have a snap. That's great. Okay. Now, some of you out in the audience are saying, BS, he's just doing that for a living, right? No. Those of you who are sitting in the front row got real quiet because you saw my eyes roll up in my head, right? They're starting to move. No, you weren't looking. Okay. I assumed that you were watching. Silly me. What the hell? Anybody see my eyes roll up? Okay. And you're going, wait a minute. Now, the only time I ever see that kind of thing is when somebody's meditating, when somebody's sleeping next to me and they're dreaming, okay, or when somebody's in hypnosis. But check this out. I was still, number 1 or number 2? Never mind. Okay, here we go. I was still talking, right, while I was going to hypnosis. Most people think, well, if I'm in hypnosis, I must be a zombie and not be able to talk or think. In fact, I probably won't remember what happened. No, 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 that's not hypnosis. That's being a zombie. We don't do zombies here, okay? Zombies are not us, okay? So, like little kids, okay, great, you got that. So, just watch again and think about what it would be like if at work for 20 seconds you could put yourself into this profound relaxation, which Adam and a few others have said is actually off the scale at a 10. How much that would be useful for you, not as an entertainment, but as a real value, as a real way of saying, hey, not only does the company appreciate me, I appreciate me. I appreciate me enough to teach myself something very powerful that could happen just like that. Here we go. On the count of 3, if everyone would raise their hands when I count to 3 and not before. Sit back in your chairs, please. Remember, because we are friends and colleagues, we want to be gentle with each other. Please don't speak to anyone else in the room at this point. You will distract them. If you're chewing gum, be very careful during the second experiment. We may even have Lori come by with the official Duke's spittoon to get rid of the gum, because we don't want to have that happen. Okay, here we go. On the count of 3, 1, get ready to please bring your hands up as rapidly as you can. 2, I'm really cheering for you. I know that at least 20 people in this room are going to be extraordinary at this. Number 3, bring your hands up just like that. Stare in between your fingers. Interlace your fingers. Keep your index finger pointing towards the ceiling. Now stare in between your fingers. You could stop this from happening, or you could want it to happen and make it happen with your mind. With your mind, mentally, stare at your fingers and keep telling yourself, my fingers are moving and closing. As I tell you, my fingers are moving and closing, repeat it in your mind and allow yourself to feel the tiny, jerky little motions as your fingers move, close, pressing together, stronger and stronger and stronger. Want it to happen, feel it happen. Keep staring at your fingers. As your fingers close together, let your eyelids begin to close down. Begin to close down and shut out the light. Leaving your eyelids closed down, leaving your fingers pressing stronger and stronger together. Begin breathing slowly, easily, deeply, just as you do each night when you're deep and sound in slumber. Allow it to happen, let it happen. Don't force anything. You have the power, and most of all, you have the right to relax. Think to yourself, I have the right to relax. As your eyelids close down, closing and pressing and sealing, I want you to imagine what it would be like if they actually closed and sealed and pressed shut. Relax and let yourself go. Allow your eyelids to close down. In a moment, I'm going to count from 1 to 3. When I count from 1 to 3, I ask you to leave your hands exactly where they are. When I count from 1 to 3, you'll be able to open your eyes easily, effortlessly, on purpose, because you choose to. 1, 2, and 3. Eyes open. Look around the room without moving your hands. Notice all the different responses. That's enough, great. On the count of 3, open your hands. 1, 2, and 3. Put your hands back down. You know what? You did such a good job. Give yourselves a hand. That was a trick. About 75% of you in the room just surprised yourself. You went, oh my God, my fingers came together. That's cool. Okay, those are little tiny little muscle movements. Let's move on to the second one, or else we'll be here all afternoon. The second experiment uses much larger muscles. Now that you've got the hang of it with your fingers, watch as we move to the next things. Now, I'm going to need some helpers for this. So I want my best helper there. If you would, tell me your name. What's her name again?
Denise.
Denise, come on up. Show your appreciation to Denise. Sometime tonight, Denise. Yes, okay. And let's get somebody, a counterpart for Denise. Mark Taylor's a good guy. Let's bring him up. All right. All right. The brave and the beautiful. Here we go. Okay. The bold and the beautiful. Okay, there we go. Now, all you're going to be doing is keeping me honest. You're not going to do anything, okay? I know you're afraid of this, but it's all right. It's good. Just don't say anything. Here, now, what you're going to do, I want you to grab a hold of my thumbs. Will you guys do that? No, this is not the pull my thumbs. Okay, that's good. But I'm going to use that in the next show because you jumped right on it, didn't you? Okay. Now, see how stiff my arms are in that position? Raise my arms all the way up above my head. Okay, now let go. Okay, notice the stiffness of my arms, right? Now, next time you do that, you're going to let go now, too. Good. All right. Now, see? When my arms kind of like flop around like wet dish towels, I want you to pick them up again in the same way. Raise them over my head like you just did, and then drop them, not on my command, but whenever you feel like it, okay? I want you to make sure that I'm as loose as a rag doll. We're going to need one more helper, if you would, come on up here, and because I'm going to be in a different position from where I start. So you be the microphone holder, and right about like there, okay? Keep it right next to my mouth, and when I get down there, you have to go down. Okay, great. Good. Don't go there. God, you guys are... All right, here we go. Now, oh, music, maestro. There we go. Thank God I'm in the unit. Both arms are going to go like this. My left hand towards the ceiling. Left hand, ceiling, Denise. Right, okay. Right hand. It's like Battle White. It's great. It's really cool. Okay. Right hand down towards the floor. You don't have to do this. I was just explaining it to you. It's cool. I just, you know, for later on, I wanted you to know how to do it. Okay, left hand towards the right hand. If you're dyslexic like me, it looks like this. Okay, left hand towards the ceiling, right hand down, hard in my butt. Okay, great. There we go. Left hand, right hand. Watch. Denise, I want you to pantomime that silence, like Charlie Chaplin movie, okay? Pantomime putting a very heavy iron bucket, the handle of that, in my hand. Excellent. Oh, she'd love to do that. I can see that. Okay. The handle, dear. The handle goes. Okay, great. Now close my fingers around it. Oh, it feels so. Okay, good. Excellent. Now, Mark, I want you to tie 10 helium-filled balloons around my right wrist. If you do that, please. Excellent. Put the microphone right in my face, dear. Thank you. Okay, great. Good. All right. Now let go, Denise. That's good. Okay. Oh boy. Now I'm concentrating now on the bucket getting heavier and heavier, while Mark is pumping up the balloons with helium. And they're floating, lifting, moving, and rising. Floating up, floating, lifting, moving, and rising. Floating, lifting, moving. Hands and arms being pulled and tugged by the weight of the pail. And now, if somebody would please snap their fingers so I can let go of the damn balloons, good, okay? And now the pail, I'll get it, there we go. Now folks, this is your basic relaxed right about here. Are you with me there? Microphone lady? There, hello? Hello? Oh yeah, I can hear myself now. Folks, you are just not going to get any more damn relaxed than I am right now. This is your basic relax. Now, Denise and Mark, let's practice what we rehearsed before. Pull my thumbs, please. That's it, folks. Go for it now. Yep, that's any time now. Okay. Remember the part about letting go? Yeah, good. Okay, that's good. Great. There we go. Again, this is your basic relax with, do we have the microphone nearby? Yeah, there we go. Okay, good. Try that again now in slow motion. I'm just kidding. Try it at regular speed, please. Okay, good. Remember your basic relax. You don't have to pull me out of this place. Oh, what the hell. Okay, yeah. Now, are these arms relaxed or what? Anytime, folks. Okay, good. That's your relaxed position right here. Now, you can't get more relaxed than I am right now. Would we get some good finger snaps going now? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, was that relaxed?
That was very
Have you ever
relaxed.
been next to somebody that relaxed with a group of people?
Nope.
Never. Mark, was that your basic relax?
That's pretty relaxed.
All right, show your appreciation to the Denise and Mark team. And a great round of applause for our microphone lady. Thank you for sharing. Your turn, here you go. It's that simple. Want it to happen. Expect it to happen. Allow it to happen. Don't try and push it, just let it happen. Remember, if you're speaking, you will distract the people around you, which is really not fair, okay? And I don't want to be an idiot about that, so just let's finish up. Here we go. Oh, he's 10, 9, 8, oh, he's doing something back there. There's like cue cards or something. You know, the little guy in the TV that interprets for you. Anyway, on the count of 3, please first lean back in your chairs, put your feet flat on the floor. Really decide to let this happen. Go for it. You won't be brought up here yet, okay? One more thing. Just focus all of your attention on imagining it, but you don't have to see the pail, you don't have to see the balloons. On the count of 3, what I'd like you to do is to bring your arms up into the air. We go 1, 2, and 3, arms up in the air. Now if you would turn your left hand over towards the ceiling, and if you would bring your right hand over on your shoulder, just like that. Now bring your left hand over. Now if you could shake your ass in the... Denise, did you do something on my machine while you're up here? Show your appreciation to Denise who did it once again. You know, I know that is a really cheap DJ joke. Actually, it doesn't even qualify as a joke, but it does release a lot of the tension in the room, which about now is getting like, oh my God, I might get hypnotized. Okay, so remember, you're going for a 10. Remember, you're going to prove something to yourself, not to me. On the count of 3, we're really going to raise our arms. We're going to do it for real. 1, 2, 3. Arms out. Lean back. Put your arms forward and lean back. Turn your left hand over towards the ceiling. Right hand down towards the floor. Voluntarily rehearse the movement before we do it. Push your left arm down as if you were meeting resistance. Push it down against resistance. Push your right arm up against imaginary resistance. You should be meeting a lot of resistance, kind of like isometrics. Once more, bring it into center. No, it's not cardio kickboxing in slow motion. Okay, now bring the arms up once again and down. Beautiful, beautiful, looking good. 3 more sets, just kidding. Okay, here we go. Now, voluntarily, let's do it. Close your eyelids down and leave them closed down, even if you're not participating. Leave your eyelids closed down. Close your left hand. Voluntarily close your left hand on purpose. Now imagine and pretend with all your strength, with all your power, your strength and your power, because you are strong and you are powerful. You are strong and powerful. Imagine that in your left hand, we place the handle of a very heavy iron bucket, and that bucket is sinking down and down and down towards the ground, while around your right wrist we've tied the string or the rope of 10 helium-filled balloons. They're floating, lifting, moving and rising, floating higher and higher and higher with my voice, while the pail is getting heavier and heavier, heavier and heavier, sinking down and down and down. And the person I'm touching now is number 1, and the person I'm touching now is number 2. Pail getting heavier. Person I'm touching now, number 3. Person I'm touching now is number 4. Remember your numbers. Remember your numbers. Person I'm touching now is number 5. Remember your numbers. The person I'm touching now is number 6. Remember your numbers. The person I'm touching now is number 7. Number 8. Remember your numbers. Remember your numbers. Pail getting heavier. Number 9. The balloons are now floating in space. They're moving because the wind is starting to blow them around. The wind is really catching those balloons now. Number 10, the person I'm touching now. Person I'm touching now, number 11. Person I'm touching now is number 12. Remember your numbers. Person I'm touching now is number 13. That pile got 10 times heavier. Number 14 right here. Number 15. Number 16. Remember your numbers. The person I'm touching right now is number 17. Remember your number. The person I'm touching right now is number 18, 19. Remember your numbers. And now the balloons are really floating into the air, all the way up. A tremendous wind starts blowing the arm around and around and around, while the pail just gets so very, very heavy, sinking all the way down, 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 down. Person I'm touching now also has a number, Person I'm touching now has a number. On the count of 3, leave your arms exactly where they are. I did not get to give everybody a number I wanted to, and so if your arm is all the way up into the air, when I count to 3, consider yourself having been given a number. 1, 2, 3, eyes open, leave your arms where they are. Look around the room. On the count of 3, when I snap my fingers, let go of the pail. 1, 2, 3, let go of the pail. On the count of 3, let go of the balloons. 1, 2, and 3. Relax, let yourself go. If you've been given a number, please stand up where you are. If you were given a number, stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. If you're given a number, stand up right where you are. Stand up. Everyone who was given a number, everyone who responded strongly. If your arm went way up in the air, I wasn't able to get into the aisle to touch you, come on up, we're going to give you the 3rd experiment. Those who pass the 3rd experiment are going to be allowed to volunteer. Only those who pass the 3rd will be allowed to volunteer. So, if you were given a number, quickly now, come right up and form a line right in front of me. Right up and form a line in front of me. Let's put your hands together. If you didn't get a number, but you really, yes, if your hand was way up in the air, come on up. Move all the way down, move all the way down, move all the way down. Make a straight line this way, straight line. Step forward, step forward, step forward, step forward, step forward this way, step forward this way, step forward right here. Excellent. Form a second line now, come right in. Form a second line, come right in. Form a second line, that's excellent. Do we have talent in this organization or what? Come on! Okay, one of the things that high hypnotizability correlates with is high intelligence. Some of you may be surprised by that. Okay. The second thing it correlates with is tremendous ability to concentrate and focus your will. So just the opposite of what most people think. Not only are they not easily susceptible to other people's opinions, they are actually some of the strongest willed people in existence. Put your hands loosely, limply by your side. Make sure you're not physically touching somebody or disturbing them at this point. All right, here we go. Look who's here. That's like I said, are amazing. Show your appreciation to the ever-amazing Denise. Here we go. Okay. All right. Yeah, she's back. Right, that's good. Okay, please, folks. What I'm going to ask you to do now is to turn around and face that way. Good. Turn around, face me. And if you can just step back here a bit. Okay, that's very good. Turn around, facing me. Please pardon their butts, I will, and so do you. Now, because we're friends and family, or at least we're colleagues, and we want to work together tomorrow, let's give them your support by being a few more minutes quiet while we find the people who are really the all-stars. Yes, I know he's really an attractive guy on the wall, but I'm over here. That's great. Hi. Actually, looks like he could have been your brother there. That's amazing. Isn't that amazing? Look at this. Guys, come on. Adam, get a good shot of this. That's amazing. Check this out. Dude, look at this. Look at that. Number one. Number two. Could be his grandpa. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Who the hell cares if we have a hypnotism show? We're having fun. Okay, come on. Good Lord Almighty. All right. Uh-oh, he said the H word. Let's move out of here. Okay, here we go. All seriousness now. Listen carefully, quiet. Watch me. Two rules. One, you play safe at all times. You're always, can we hold off on the kitchen for a moment? We're always aware of the physical limitations of this room and your bodies, okay? Number two, very important, listen. If you ever hear my voice again after this show is over, if you hear me on the television, the radio, which I'm on many times, if you hear me in back of you at Gelson's, if you talk to me on the phone, you will never, ever respond involuntarily to the sound of my voice. Listen again. After the show is completely over, you will never, please jump up and down now, wave your arm vigorously at me so I'll know that you're exempted from that suggestion. Good, okay, I thought so. Now, put your feet flat on the floor. Yep, you've already got that handle. Pull your feet together. Hands loose and limp by your side. Watch me very carefully from this time forward. I'm going to go very quickly now. My hands are going to go together. Don't do it yet. You're going to stare at the place where your thumbs meet. Put all your attention, all your concentration. Could you trade places with the woman in back of you? Yeah, I didn't think she can see through you. Not yet, anyway. We'll give her x-ray vision later. Okay, good. All right, now. You're going to stare at your thumbs. You're going to press your hands as strongly as you can together. I'll give you instructions from there. Remember, perfect balance. You will not fall. Perfect balance. No matter how relaxed you get, legs are going to remain strong and firm beneath you. Here we go. On the count of 3, get your hands up as fast as you can. And before you do that, make a decision. Commit yourself to putting all your strength and all your power on the line, all your confidence, focus it into this demonstration. You will be pleased and proud of yourself at the end. Here we go on the count of 1, 2, and 3. Bring your hands up as quickly as you can. Now press your hands together, stronger and stronger, stronger and stronger. Press your hands together. Extend your arms all the way out so your elbows are straight. Extend the arms all the way out. Stare at your thumbs. As you stare at your thumbs, stare at your thumbs. Continue to stare at your thumbs. I want you to breathe slowly, easily, deeply, just the way you do each time when you're deep and sound in slumber. Slow, deep, easy breathing. As I count from 3 down to 1, I want you to voluntarily close your eyelids down. You can do it. 3, 2, and 1. Close your eyelids voluntarily now. As I count from 5 to 1, I want you to continue to breathe in strength and breathe out all hesitation. Breathe in commitment and breathe out all indecision. Breathe in power and breathe out all weakness. Number 5. As you breathe in strength, press your hands together so they are sealing and gluing. Number 4, as you exhale all indecision, all hesitation, all doubt, all fear, all weakness, your hands grow stronger and stronger because you are strong. You are power, strength, power, and focus, and you can do this. You have the right to relax and the right to focus your power intensely. On number 3, breathe in 1,000% commitment and make it happen. Make your hands stick together like super glue. Hands now sticking together not only consciously, but unconsciously, involuntarily, automatic, effortless part of the mind taking over the part that's beating your heart right now without any effort whatsoever. As you go down to number 2, breathe in the strength, breathe out any remaining hesitation. Feel your hands sealing, pressing, locking, gluing shut, tighter and tighter and tighter lock, so that no one else in this audience can come up to you and pull your hands apart, because your strength and your power and your total commitment here and now. As I count down from 2 down to 1, find now that your eyelids too are sealing, pressing, locking, gluing, shutting, tighter and tighter, tighter and tighter, so tightly locked that on number 1, not only will the hands not open, but the eyelids are stuck completely shut too. Number 1, hands locked tight, eyelids locked tight. I'm going to come over to a few of you. I'm going to tap you on the forehead. When I tap you on the forehead and you realize that your eyes are locked shut, I want you to say 2 words. Those words are, I'm satisfied. Say those words loudly and clearly.
I'm satisfied.
Satisfaction up here.
I'm satisfied.
Another satisfied person over here. Let's check them out on this end.
I'm satisfied.
Satisfaction.
Satisfied.
Satisfied. Satisfied. Wonderful. Wonderfully good. Don't have time for everybody.
Satisfied.
Just continue to see now, feel your hands stuck together. The more you try to pull them apart, the stronger they become, the stronger you become. Now begin breathing very deeply, very slowly, and imagine and feel your hands and arms growing very, very heavy. Your shoulders melting, melting, melting. Arms and hands coming all the way down, down, down. Drifting down, down, down towards your thighs, down towards your lap. The moment they come all the way down, your hands completely grow loose and limp and relaxed. They separate. You go 5 times deeper into concentration on the sound of my voice. 5 times deeper into hypnosis. Touch of my hand takes you deeper. Sound of my voice takes you deeper. Perfect balance, you will not fall. Perfect balance, you will not fall. Deeper and sounder, way down. Deeper and sounder, way down. Relax. Hearing every sound that I'm saying, relax and let yourself go deeper, relax, loose, limp, relax, drifting down. Loose, limp, relax, drifting down. Loose, limp, relax, and drifting down. 10, 9, 8, going deeper now as I move this person just a little bit this way. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, much deeper. If your eyelids are locked, say the words, I'm satisfied.
I'm satisfied.
Good, wonderfully good. Relax, let yourself go. Listen very carefully. In a moment I'm going to count from 1 to 3. When I do, those of you who would like to bust stress, those of you who would like a permanent suggestion for self-hypnosis, those of you who would like to take a few shots at the people in the audience in a harmless way, those of you who would like to have some of the most fun you've ever had in your life, there are 8 chairs up there. If we need more, we'll get them. The first 8 people to occupy those chairs are going to be able to volunteer for the show. On the count of 1 to 5, you're coming all the way up. You're still relaxed, but you're ready to go deeper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Quickly now, go get a chair. Get a chair on the stage. Go get a chair on the stage if you'd like to be a part of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'd be wonderful in the show. Come on up. Here we go. Let's get some men up there. You'd be wonderful in the show. There we go. This big fella here. You're wonderful. Okay, let's get a chair right for this. Yep. Chair over there. Come on, a couple more folks now. Couple more folks. I see they're fighting all over themselves. Excellent. You had a good time. You surprised yourself, didn't you, there? Which one? Yeah, let's get right here. Come on. Come on. Bring your chair up, darling. All right, who was really, really under that wants to come up? Come on, who saw somebody really gone? Okay. That's right, there's your chair. Did you surprise yourself, Denise?
Big time.
Big time. See, she didn't know she could do that before. All right. Tell me your name. Jen. Jen, tell me your name. Elena, okay. Want you to keep me honest, just yell out the name if I blow it, okay? Just say, no, that's not her name. Yeah, okay, good. All right, you got it. Look right here. You surprised yourself, didn't you?
I did.
How did you surprise yourself?
It worked.
Yeah, it worked. Nobody ever thinks they can do this. About 5% of people who actually get hypnotized think that they could do it before. Okay, but don't talk to him because we're on a roll here, so let's stay with it. Okay, Denise, let's look right here, everyone. Folks, do not distract them right now. It's going to get real boring, okay? Here we go. Feet flat on the floor, hands loose and limp on your thighs. Again, the same instruction, your own thighs, damn it. Okay, good, great, all right. I know it's fun, but not too much fun. All right, thank you, appreciate it, good. Look right here. Very important, again, you will never respond to my voice after the show is over unless you choose to. Only if you ask me to re-hypnotize you would it work. If that's okay with you, do nothing. If it's not okay with you, nod your head negatively vigorously. I thought so, okay, great. Take a nice deep breath in. Hold a breath. Exhale, look at me. Relax, let yourself go. Keep looking at me. Deep breath in. Hold a breath. Exhale, begin to let your eyelids grow heavier and heavier, sinking down, closing down and shutting out the light. Eyelids closing down and shutting out the light. Continue breathing easily, slowly, effortlessly, just as you do when you're deep and sound in slumber. Sound of my voice, touch of my hand takes you deeper. Relax and let yourself go. Relax and let go with each smooth, easy breath that you exhale. Deeper and deeper, relax. Listen very carefully. Because you have the right to relax, we're going to completely embed that in suggestion forever for you as a resource. Think to yourself these words. Want these words to be a part of your life from this time forward. I have the right to relax. Breathe strength into those words. Breathe power and commitment into those words. That means anywhere, anytime, you can remain productive, in fact super productive, and yet be relaxed inside, comfortable, calm, balanced. As relaxed physically as you are right now, mentally relaxed, emotionally balanced. Think to yourself those words as if you were typing them on a computer screen. I have the right to relax. Now onto that computer screen, I want you to imagine that the number 3 has appeared. In fact, it doesn't even have to be a computer screen anymore. It could just be the air in front of you. It could be a green board, a white board, a black board, a piece of butcher paper, or just the number 3 floating in front of you. You don't even have to see it. Just pretend. You're going to take 3 powerful, powerful steps down into deeper hypnosis. You're going to do it by your hand and my command. When I snap my fingers, the number 3 will be a challenge to you. You are challenged to erase that number with your real hand, the hand that you write with, by raising it in the air when I snap my fingers and erasing that number with all your strength, all your power. And when you make that number erase and disappear, you'll go much deeper into hypnosis. Get ready, get set, now. Erase the number 3. Do it now. Use your real hand. Erase the number 3. Erase the number 3. Erase the number 3. Erase the number 3. Make it disappear totally and utterly. Totally and utterly. Totally and utterly disappear until there's nothing left. Sounds around you are sounds of support at this time. Sounds around you are sounds of support. Breathe slowly, deeply, easily. Relax and let yourself go. Relax and let go with each smooth, easy breath that you exhale. That's it. Get that number erased all the way down. All the way down. All the way down. Here comes number 2. But number 2 is going to be harder to erase, much more difficult. But you have the strength. You have the power, and you have the right to erase that number. Do it now! Erase the number 2. Make it totally and utterly disappear. Refuse to leave it up. Refuse to leave it up there. Refuse to leave it up. 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 Get ready now, because the number 1 is going to be much bigger than your whole body. You're going to have to reach down for every ounce of strength and power in you. But you have the strength, you have the concentration.
Team members and saying, was it realistic, the estimates that we came up with? We're going into our pilot with probably 65% of it done. which means there's another 35% that we need to test during the pilot. So the pilot participants are going to be very critical in helping us flesh that out and understanding what can work. Because again, everything so far has been conceptual.
For instance, you were talking about the process, that it's really not the people in that sense, it is the process, and that certainly is a total quality management point of view and as CQI at that point.
Yes.
But when you're saying about the process of, for instance, claims and how they have to process and working with people in the claims, I mean, you hear things dinging and numbers flashing, and these people know that constantly seems to be this stress level that they have to produce, and they may cut corners in order for the production to stay online, and
Right.
that's really looking at the all-over system. It's creating not only tension with them, but sort of a rework with other people because they need to meet their quotas. So,
Right.
you know, if this quota system is kept in place, to me, you know, that's still going to create, it may create some of the same problems that we have
Right.
now.
I have a couple of thoughts in response to your question. I don't know if I'll be able to respond to your question, so let me know if I do or don't answer it. A couple of things. We may well decide, after we scope out and determine the pilot site and come up with a geographic area and see what criteria exists to service that area, we may realize that we have to do some preparation work before we can launch the pilot. For example, the pilot team might have to spend 2 weeks just cleaning up the databases before we actually can test real work. We know that, again, if we believe, or it's our hypothesis, that if we can clean the data up, that should significantly reduce some of the volumes of work that exists in the current as-is. Again, the PRUTRAC 2 system was designed to automatically adjudicate many claims, many more than they currently are. We believe that it's not working to its capacity because the data is so poor. So it's our hypothesis that in the pilot, if we do work with clean data, the system will do more of the work automatically, freeing up more capacity for people to do other things, so we can manage that transition more easily. I don't know if that speaks or helps your point, because it almost sounds like when you go into pilot, you're going to have people doing the same work they're doing right now, and how are they going to be able to manage that and learn these new processes at the same time? We need to provide some relief so that those conditions that exist for as-is don't exist for the pilot or for the vision.
The Renaissance team has already recognized, and we have another work that we've done, that if you don't align the incentives with this objective over here you're trying to accomplish, then you won't accomplish this objective. And some of those productivity incentives are exactly the ones that get in our way sometimes. So they've already recognized it as an issue, and in some of the work I've seen, it's we have to do this consideration to the site. It's just that it isn't done yet. But you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
We have to find an effective way to do that. We trip over our own goals sometimes.
And that's, I think, also part of our functionalization. Everybody has their own performance management system and their own reward structures. So if you integrate that process, we have to come up with a coherent and unified set of performance management measures as well as rewards. Well, I appreciate the questions. What we would like to close with is sharing with you some of the activities we have planned for communications, because this is just one step in updating you. And as you realize, there are as many questions you're raising today, answers to which we don't know. So there needs to be ongoing communication. Our goal is to get newsletters to you every other week. Again, you've seen a couple editions of the Renaissance Update. Again, it's on that fluorescent green paper. There should be one in your mail right now, the one that was published around July 28th.
And next one will come out a week from today.
Okay.
And that'll have the pilot information in it totally.
Oh, great, great. In addition, there's going to be a question and answer board posted in each one of the locations. And Jeannie, do you know where the one in Woodland Hills will be?
What I'm going to be doing is I will send the Q&A out to operation heads and team leaders, so hopefully they'll post it in their own departments.
Okay. And this is composed of all the questions we're hearing in this session here, as well as all the other sessions in Woodland Hills, as well as all the other sessions throughout the region. I'm not sure if you're aware, you probably were from the poster. We're doing these sessions in every site in WGO this week. A question stays up on that board until we have an answer to it. All those I don't knows will stay up on the board until there's an answer. And I'm sure it will continue to grow because, again, there will be more questions as we move forward, and we solicit and are anxious to get your questions because they help us. In addition, managers are getting a kit every other Friday, which again should be giving you more information about the progress of the project. And hopefully in team meetings or division meetings or whatever mechanism exists in your area, you'll be getting that update from your manager or your operational head. If that's not enough communication, there's another option too. If you have questions, concerns, issues, or ideas on how we can make this successful, please, please, please send us a props message. And this is an account that the Renaissance team manages itself. And the address you send it to, and this is on the paper copy that you'll pick up at the end, is RENAISS. It's the shortened version of Renaissance. You'll get an answer within 72 hours. That answer might be, we don't know. But if it's one of those questions that we don't know the answer to, it then becomes part of the compiled Q&A. And again, it stays on there until we do have an answer. So, any other final questions before we break?
I just have an issue that I've heard from other people is sometimes when companies go through a situation like this, people who, you don't feel very secure, and people start looking for other opportunities outside of the company. And in some of my past experience, we've lost some really, really good employees that may not have been affected by the changes. And are you thinking towards that and trying to
Yeah, I think a lot of people are thinking of that question right now. I don't know that we have the perfect solution to it yet because it's a really thorny problem. In fact, a lot of there was concern about going out with these sessions and just raising anxiety levels of people without any answers, because it might in fact motivate some people leaving that we don't want to leave. But we decided better to share the information with people now with as much information as we know as of August 11th, rather than keep people in the dark, because we know the rumors exist anyway. The layoffs, downsizing rumors existing anyway, so might as well talk with people. If you have any ideas, or if anybody has any ideas about how we can manage that, please share them with us, because it's a sticky one. Any other questions? Well, what I'd like you to do is, if you could just take a minute to complete the survey that you found on your chair when you walked in, and just give us some feedback about the information you received today. And thanks for your attention, and we hope to hear from you. We need your help. Thanks.